a bass line in,
right,
and then they'll play bass on that song, and then, or somebody brings a guitar part in. So like on Tin Man, Victoria plays the guitar. On Privacy, Dee Dee plays the guitar. It just kind of, so we have it set up so halfway through the set they switch instruments.
right.
Because, we don't have a bunch of guitar techs and people running around helping us. Yeah. So we have our set basically mapped out so that we have 2 breaks so that they can switch instruments back and forth.
Now, how is that for like recording purposes? Like, how does that dynamic work with all of you together, sitting down and kind of like laying down the track and laying down the song?
Well, when we write, if someone brings in a bass part, and that same person hears something on the guitar, then they'll teach the bass part to another player, or Dee Dee will teach the bass part to me, or I'll teach it to her, and then she'll play what she's hearing on the guitar, and we'll often switch off between the parts that we're writing, and then we'll just figure out who's going to play what later.
Now, are there any maybe not arguments, but are there some times where the songs are questionable? Meaning, someone will bring in like let's say a guitar riff and some lyrics, and then does everybody kind of put their 2 cents in, saying, that sounds good, but maybe you should drop to an A here, or go an octave higher or lower, or?
I don't think there's any really arguments. I think we just kind of muddle through stuff, and we're really good at just playing stuff over until we all feel comfortable with it, pretty much.
Like the first time we go in, we won't exactly have the song completely down. We'll play with that song, that same riff, for like a good month until we're like happy with what we have.
Unless it's Dreamland, which we wrote in
completely, yeah.
Which just happened.
That happened.
Yeah, that song just happened. I can't even tell you. It was that studio magic that occasionally you're struck by like lightning.
Well,
in fact, even the lyrics, I wrote the lyrics in the studio.
She sang the lyrics before she wrote them.
Right.
The very first time she heard it, we were playing it together.
Well, there you go. You said, and the thing is, that's not the first time I've heard that, because a lot of times that does happen, and it's just the chemistry just kind of hits you at the moment, and you're thinking to yourself, we gotta write this down, record this now, because if we don't, I'm going to forget, or it's not going to sound the same as you initially envisioned it when you first kind of came up with the idea.
Yeah, it was, that song in particular, I'll say it was just kind of, it was very amazing to me, because it just fell together in the studio. We were there, we were in the studio, it was like, I want to say like 10 o'clock at night, and we literally wrote it down. That
was like the last, because we were like, okay, you guys, you want to be done for today? And then all of a sudden, I was like, well, no, someone asked, do we have another song? And I was like, well, there's this one song that I was writing for someone, if you guys want to do something with it, because I don't think they're doing anything with it. And so I played it on my computer, and they're like, okay, let's go ahead and work on that one.
And we literally recorded it in like an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Had the whole thing recorded.
Yeah. And Paul Rossler, who we were at Kitten Robot. I always want to call it Robot Kitten. He's all like, why would it be that? And I'm like, because I don't know, Kitten, Robot Kitten.
Yeah.
He was totally like, wow. Yeah, he said, I'm just going to push play and walk away from it.
Well, those are the best times, aren't they? Just because, like something comes together that quickly and you're just so happy with it. It's nice to, in a sense, have a song that you don't really have to change or alter too much. Because one thing I understand, and I've heard it over and over again, is that essentially no song is ever completely finished. And that being said, a lot of songs to go with, it just sometimes it takes a while because you want to sound the way you want to hear it, right? Because you don't want it to go on the EP or a record or album, that sort of thing, and you're listening to it saying like, oh man, you know what, I should have done that or should have done that.
Yeah, you don't want to have any regrets. I mean, personally, I always feel like music is an evolution, so I'm not, while I'm a perfectionist, I'm not a perfectionist. Like, I know that everything has its own life, and when I sing things, I know that when I sing live, it's going to be different than what I record just because of the energy and a lot of other things. And as I sing things, as they transition, they just become a different animal, and there's different rhythms and things like that going on. So, you know, things evolve, but it's kind of nice to have the memory of its inception down on tape, you know.
Absolutely. Now, when you're doing the vocals, I mean, obviously you've got the harmony in mind. Now, while you're singing it, are you constantly thinking about the song of possible ways to maybe be able to change it or something you could add to it?
Before I record anything, I try to have it pretty set, so that I don't. Hopefully, I'm not having to read anything
right.
while I'm recording. That didn't happen with this. That didn't happen with this EP. There were Tuesday. I was literally reading lyrics. I wrote them the night before, and actually, Earthquake.
I read those.
Right.
I just read it.
We were both reading lyrics, but for the most part, I try to have stuff pretty centered and so that I can actually perform rather than record.
Fair enough. No, it's the best way to put it. And it's always a curiosity to me, just because obviously every band artists have their own way of recording and their own kind of makeup and what they do. So it's always kind of interesting to me to hear of what their process is, because a lot of times it's different. It can be very interesting and something I haven't heard before. So,
well, one of the things that I definitely do is I take a riff, or I take a song if we've gotten a song, and I listen to it obsessively, and I probably have pages and pages of notes as to where I want to go with the song.
Right.
And then usually all of those get thrown away, and it's something that I came up with in the shower or driving somewhere. And it's like this wet piece of paper, because I literally like jump out of the shower and I'm like scribbling madly. So it's kind of what I feel, what the music says to me.
Right. Well, you know, it's better than hopping in the shower, writing something down on a wet piece of paper, than waking up in the middle of the night going, "That's amazing," and then looking in the morning, it's like, I have no idea what I wrote here.
Well, that's happened too.
I've done that a few times too, and I just look at it as like, I don't know what I was thinking and how this makes any sense at all.
Well, I've learned that I have to pull over, because if I think that I'm writing clearly on a piece of paper while I'm not looking, I just can't really even understand like the letters that are there. I'm like, yeah, and that looks like my cat wrote it.
Ancient Greek writing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and don't even try dictating it to Siri, because that always comes out very nicely. So.
Yeah, I know. The
Yeah.
dictation. It thinks that I have an accent. It makes up words. I'm like, that was nothing like what I said.
You know, sometimes it's funny, but when it's funny, there's no one around to hear it, and that's what happens. So, quick sidetrack here before I get to the next song. My serious story is, months ago, I was driving the car, I had my phone plugged in, and I asked it to play a song by a Canadian artist, techno artist called Deadmau5. And I said, play the song Hi Friend. And then Siri comes back and says, I'm not just your friend, I'm your BFF. And I start laughing. He's like, why is no one around to hear this? So.
No, you may not hear what you want to hear. I will play what you will hear. I'm going to play Steely Dan.
Yeah. So that's my little sidetrack. So we're going to get to the next tune here. We're going to go with number 9. This is Kittenhead. number 9, Kittenhead. Now that is definitely a catchy tune. I love like the very beginning. I love kind of the heavy kind of like low riffs, kind of like low E, kind of like almost detune riffs. Like I just love the heaviness of it, and you guys just kind of nail it. Not kind of, you guys do nail
Thanks.
it.
That's our spy thriller.
You know, ironically, this is the first song I listened to, and I got into it right away, and it was one of those things. It was a good thing I heard that first because I just wanted to hear more. The rest of the EP was really good, mind you. So any one of those songs would have come here to make me listen to it more. But this one I just kind of really got into. It's one of those ones that start nodding my head like right away, and it's got. Well, I know it's catchy, but it's got that perfect kind of almost like 3/4 timing that kind of just makes you kind of like a really kind of get into it and start. You just want to start tapping, banging, doing whatever.
Yeah, I always get hooked in by the bass line. That that riff, that dun 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 dun, really always kind of just hooks me in. So. I'm a bass girl. What can I say? Bass lines and me. I tend to take my my vocal lines off of them too. So I don't know. Maybe I listened to too much Concrete Blonde growing up or something. So.
Well, would you say you try to match your voice more to the bass then as opposed to the guitar in the song, or you just go by melody?
Yeah, I think that.